Good morning and happy Thursday to all of you. You are watching Coffee with Dr. Scott, with me, Dr. Scott Dorrity, the chiropractic growth coach. And that's exactly what I do. I grow chiropractic practices. So if you are a chiropractor, you're in exactly the right place. And I'm happy you're joining me today. What we would love to know today is, are you a morning person or are you a night owl? So I want you to share that in the comments down below for me. Let me know if you're a morning person or a night owl. I think you know, if you've watched the show, you know that I'm a morning person. I love my morning routines, love getting the majority of my stuff done in the morning, so I can pretty much take the afternoon off is one of the big reasons why I do that. I used to be a big night owl back in college, I guess, but I've definitely turned into a morning person. Now that I think about it, and this just flashed in my mind, one of the reasons that happened is because I used to work at a gym when I was in college. So I would actually go do personal training at 4:30 a.m. every morning. Before I started my college classes, so I guess that kind of made me go to bed early, and that's where this whole thing started, I believe. So I am a morning person. I like to get my sleep, get to bed early, get up and get stuff done in the morning. So I would love to know your answer. I see Taryn says that she's both, which means she's not sleeping enough. And we probably need to talk to her about that. I see Stephen and John joining me. Let me know where you're joining me from, Stephen and John, what state you're from. Then also let me know if you're a morning person or a night owl. Now, here in a few minutes, the topic for today will go right along with that question. So stick around for a few minutes. You'll see why I'm asking about that. I do have my nice Marvel mug here. I know you're all used to seeing me drink out of mason jars. Again, Dr. Ron out in Rhode Island, thank you for sending this along to me. It's all part of my campaign to send Dr. Scott free stuff. It worked out well in this case. I love this mug, Ron. Thank you very much. Anyways, but first, I need your help with something. I've been working with my team to revamp the ChiroLaunch coaching program throughout this summer, trying to get even more access to me. I think I was one of the more accessible coaches as it was, but even trying to get more access. And one of the elements that we're adding to the program is something that I've always called our audit calls. So basically, a member of my team will call your practice, pretending to be a new patient. We'll go through the entire process while recording it. And then I'll assess your staff members' scheduling, the handling of the new patients on the phone. I will provide feedback. I'll provide direction and all of that as to how to improve that call. We've done this with clients in the past with fantastic results. I remember one client in particular who was doing a radio show, and he was getting like 40 calls a week, but they weren't converting enough of them to new patients for my particular taste, for his either. So we did this audit call to find out what was going on with the phone, and we found a couple little flaws in there. And once we changed it, the new patients went through the roof. So now the calls are being converted to new patients. New patients are converting to actual care, and we've made a significant improvement in that practice just by doing these audit calls. So my question to you is, as a chiropractor, would you find this service valuable from a coach? Now, again, it's something we're offering to my coaching clients, but I'm considering offering it to the universe, to the chiropractic profession, because I find it so valuable for my clients. So, again, if you're watching this as a chiropractor, would you find this valuable either from your coach or as a standalone service outside of that? So go ahead and comment down below. Just a yes or no will do, but I would love any thoughts and opinions you might have on this. I'm still working out the details of how often each of my clients would receive these audit calls, especially if I grade them and it's a very poor grade, how long will they have to improve it before we call them again? But again, all my clients who have had them get a lot of benefit out of them, and I'm curious how the chiropractic profession as a whole would look upon that. So your feedback would be incredibly helpful. Please help me out on there. I see Keith and Casey joining me as well. Casey, I know where you're from. Hope everything's all well out there in Kansas City. Keith, let me know what state you're watching from. And again, let me know if you're a morning person or a night owl. And then also if you're a chiropractor, because I don't know from just watching this, let me know if that audit call would be valuable for your practice. Okay. The other day on the show, we talked about simplifying your morning routine. We talked about less is more. We talked about putting less in your morning routine so you have more time, you have less stress, you feel better about it, but you get a couple very, very key things done. And I mentioned at that time that I wasn't going to get too in-depth on the benefits of having a good morning routine. Well, I lied. And today's show is all about the benefits of having a good morning routine. And the reason I'm doing that, because again, the other day I said I wasn't going to do it, but I had a couple people contact me And we started talking about it, and I don't feel like they got the idea of why it's so important. A couple of these people putting night owls on here obviously don't understand. Now, again, for those of you who don't know, Kenneth is over in the Philippines. So him being a night owl is early for us, so he can still watch us, even though he's up late doing that. So the benefits of the morning routine, again, people were just asking me about it. I've been so happy with my morning routine. Today was the first day of school, by the way. Woohoo! I see all of my friends' parents posting their first day of school pictures. If I didn't like yours, I apologize. I'm trying to like everybody's because it's really cool to see. But our morning routine this morning was perfect. This is the first year I'm really pushing my kids. I shouldn't say pushing. That's a terrible word for children. I'm encouraging my kids to have a great nighttime routine and a great morning routine. So last night we did our great 1 hour evening routine. I won't go through everything that we put into it, but there's a little bit of learning. There's a little bit of, I wouldn't say exercise, more stretching. They get the shower, they get the teeth brushed, all that kind of stuff, and they get ready for bed. And we then review the next day. So I reviewed with them what their morning routine was going to look like, and they were all excited about it. And they got up this morning, they did most of it themselves, which was really cool. The whole morning was, I'm kind of precise, like on the minute. So I know that 8:20 we got to be at the door, which means at 7:50 we have to be having breakfast, which means at 7, like I back it all out. I don't give that to them. I just let them know, hey, we got about 6 minutes left. But they nailed it this morning. We were perfect. We got to school just as the doors were opening up. Morning routine was great for both me and the kids. I've been mentioning that coffee is the one weird thing about my morning routine right now, and the fact that I don't drink coffee till now, which is I usually drink it at 7 with you all. But I kind of like that side of it as well. It's funny. I drank coffee, but I think if anybody was here with me at the beginning, last January, so a year and 8 months ago, I started the show, and I'm like, I don't have a name for the show. And I was just sitting here drinking coffee and talking to people. And it just came to be that it was Coffee with Dr. Scott. So I think I started drinking more coffee because I was the coffee guy. I wasn't the coffee guy until I started a Coffee with Dr. Scott show. So now I'm drinking less coffee. I might need to change the name. I might have to have a superhero theme. Anyways, I am rambling today. Maybe I need more coffee in the morning. All right, so most people know that a morning routine is a good thing. The problem is they don't really know the why part. I've always found it's hard to commit and stick with something if you aren't completely sure why you're doing it. Now, I tell a lot of my clients, if they don't necessarily know the why, I'm like, just do it anyway. You'll learn the why because you'll start to feel it as far as like procedures and systems go. But here with the morning routine, I agree. If you start doing it, you'll know why. But if you haven't started doing it, I want to give you the why. So that's what I'm about to tell you. The first and probably most important reason for a morning routine that it's a big deal is really just self-discipline. Everything I've read, all the science I've read says you only have so much discipline. People aren't really necessarily more disciplined than others. It just depends on what you use your discipline on. Once we run out of it in the course of a day, we run out of it. So when you stick to your morning routine and you practice the discipline of waking up at a certain time, of completing each part of your routine, you're A, exercising that self-discipline muscle, but B, you are using less self-discipline because you're in a habit, you're in a routine. So you'll have more of it left over after that routine if you do things in that same way every day, and you don't really have to think about them. You don't use any of that mental energy. You don't get into the decision-making fatigue, which is a real thing, by the way. So having that self-discipline is a huge deal in every area of our lives. So if you can knock out those few things that you know are important to you, and I've actually just redone my priorities. They're on my board over there. I won't show them to you because they're kind of my little thing. But I've got all my priorities, all my roles in life and the priorities and the things that I need to do right over here in each of those roles. And I'm prioritizing them, and I'm trying to get the majority of them done in the morning before my kids even wake up. So that I know that I've addressed each of those important roles for myself afterwards. And then the other ones that are a little bit more tasky are down at the bottom, and I handle those after the show. So having those roles and getting that stuff that you don't have to think about it, you're just doing it, and it's already improving those roles or those parts of your life, eliminates so much stress. I mean, think about it. When you wake up without enough time to really get adjusted to being awake, like if you hit the snooze button a few times and then all of a sudden you wake up, you're like, I got to go, and you have to rush through the must-do parts of your morning, the things that you absolutely have to do, the hygiene and I say getting breakfast because it's the most due thing for me, but I know a lot of people just run out the door and try to grab something on the way to work. So when you rush through all that stuff and you just do the bare minimum to get out the door, chaos and stress are always the result of that. Having enough time to do what you need to do each morning and having a set routine to get those things done creates a much more peaceful environment in your life. And again, I see posts on Facebook, not just from our school, but from every school, of people like with kids trying to get out the door, and it's hectic, and I don't fault them. I know how it is, but at the same time, I know our house this morning was super peaceful. First day of school, and everybody was chill. We were all right on time because we followed that routine. It was great. And start your day that way. And obviously that gives me an opportunity to come back and continue my day that way without all that stress. And I think the kids are better off at school that way as well. Who doesn't love getting rid of stress, right? So if you're trying to get rid of your stress, get a good morning routine. Settle those things out. Lay them out. I'm the first one to admit your morning routine doesn't always go the way you planned. Somebody can throw a monkey wrench in that thing, but having one is the key. I mean, you spend all your day using your brain, mentally exhausting yourself. You definitely want to avoid that mental fatigue first thing in the morning. You do that by creating rituals, by creating habits. Making your morning routine and an exact routine allows you to put less thought into your morning. It saves that mental energy for the rest of the day. And then lastly, the portions of a great morning routine that I include in my program, which we call Dominate Your Day, help you to take care of yourself physically. So we talked about decreasing stress, take care of yourself mentally, but it also helps you take care of yourself physically. Too many of us push exercise or any kind of physical or even our nutrition back till later, till we get this stuff done because we're in chaos mode, and we don't take good enough care of ourselves, and it shows up in our health. Taking care of yourself physically leads to obviously better health, more energy, and that's a huge positive. So trying to get that stuff done in the morning makes a lot of sense. And I'm not saying if you're like a big workout person, you necessarily have to work out in the morning. I have started doing that. I adapted it from last year. Last year I used to do a small workout in the morning just to kind of get the blood flowing, and then I worked out in the afternoon. Now I've combined them just to be more efficient. But I'm not saying you have to do that. Even just 5-10 minutes of stretching, moving, walking with the dog, something physical. Making sure your first thing you put in your body after, to break your fast after a long night is good and healthy and nutritious, whether it be a good cup of coffee. I say good because obviously there's crappy coffee out there as well with a lot of toxins in it. So a good cup of coffee with some supplements or an actual healthy breakfast, but planning that out ahead of time and making sure you're not rushing out the door and grabbing something at the gas station is very important for your health, for your physical health. So again, I told you that that's in my Dominate Your Day program. So if you'd like to access the Dominate Your Day program, just drop the word morning into the comments down below, and I'll be sure to get you access to it. So again, it's the word morning. Just put that in the comment down below. And by the way, I know I have a lot of people out here who are friends of mine who watch the show who aren't chiropractors. That's not a chiropractic thing. If you want help with your morning routine and you're not a chiropractor, you can put morning in the comments too. It's okay. Nobody's going to get mad at you. I would love to help you with your morning routine as well. So be sure to comment. Let me know your opinions and thoughts on the audit calls. Now, that is just for chiropractors. So if you are a chiropractor, let me know your thoughts on the audit calls. My goal as a coach is to be constantly improving the experience for my clients and really to help as many chiropractors as I can. I want to guide my clients to launch and grow their practices even quicker into new levels of success that I even thought possible. And hey, if you're interested in finding out more about my coaching program, if you are a chiropractor and you're interested in that and the benefits of it you get from being a coaching client, I'd love to have a quick chat with you. There's never an obligation with me. I'm not a big, hard, pushy salesman. Just a chat for you to answer any questions you might have, give you an overview of the program, how it can grow your practice, all that kind of stuff. Just click the link down below in the comments, and that will allow you to just schedule some time to talk with me after one of my shows. All right. I hope you all have a great rest of your Thursday. Make sure you're back tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Central Daylight Time for Friday's episode of Coffee with Dr. Scott. We're going to be talking about goals and finances. As most of you remember, Friday is typically Finance Friday for us. So we're getting back into that routine when we talk about your goals and your finances. Some good stuff that you don't want to miss. Have a good one, everybody, and I'll see you back here tomorrow.